in regard to previous attempts on the former president's life. This was not something that we were taking lightly.
Well, we go from the sublime to the unreal in the latest assassination attempt story surrounding President Donald John Trump. This one quite bizarre in every aspect of the story. You know, it's always worthwhile when you can't get your feet on the ground as an intelligence analyst, as a political observer analyst, to actually try to get as much information as possible before researching. It always makes sound approach to reporting on a story. And this story broke yesterday, and again, I didn't see anything in mainstream media, so I held off. Well, the Daily Mail has come out with an exclusive interview with a social media content creator who purports to be a friend of the purported would-be assassin, which appears may or may not be an assassination attempt. And now Fox News has come out with an exclusive, and I'm going to talk about both of them and their comments and about what unfolded with the Riverside County Sheriff's Office in California, where President Trump held a rally in Coachella. And it's just a bizarre situation to say the very least, folks.
But we have his name as Vem, V-E-M, Miller, M-I-L-L-E-R, and his birth date is 10/26 of 1974.
Back once again, this is Chris Report, and he assured me that since Simonstown and Boulders. Folks, this is Chris Wyatt reporting from South Africa.
President Trump's Coachella rally leads to 15 minutes of fame for 49-year-old Vem Miller. Miller was taken into custody after he stopped at a checkpoint near the former president's rally in Coachella, California on Saturday, October 12, 2024, just before 5 p.m. Now, he allegedly presented fake VIP credentials and was found to be illegally in possession of a shotgun, a loaded handgun, and a high-capacity magazine in his vehicle. Local law enforcement initially claimed that this was a third assassination attempt on Trump's life since July 13th. Perhaps, but in releasing Miller with only a $10,000 in bail, that argument just doesn't hold up. Who in their right mind would let a potential would-be assassin walk out of the sheriff's office if this really was another attempt on President Trump's life? That said, there are all kinds of strange questions going on here. Mindy Robinson, a social media content creator who has described herself as an independent journalist, hidden history buff, anti-government libertarian, and host of Conspiracy Truths on America Happens, gave the Daily Mail an exclusive interview. And in that interview, which appeared on the 13th of October, 2024, Robinson has described herself as to the Daily Mail as a friend and business partner of the alleged third would-be Trump assassin, Vem Miller. She says Miller is a full-blown Trump supporter and slamming police for not understanding he's one of us.
What you talking about, Willis?
One of us? I'm sorry. Come again? When did we, patriots, start carrying around multiple passports, multiple driver's license, driving unregistered cars with fake license plates? Or is that all just part of some fiction going on here? I don't recall anyone I know carrying a firearm at a Trump rally. And even if one has a sidearm for personal protection in a constitutional carry state, which California is not, why a loaded shotgun? Was he planning on vermin removal? Shooting varmints? Taking out groundhogs around the rally site? Ms. Robinson said Miller has been a MAGA activist for years, and he had no intention of killing the former president. She said he has been with him to several pro-Trump events. Fair enough. But my question to Ms. Robinson is, have you spoken to him about the incident since his arrest? Because everything that came before this may be true, but it may no longer be the case. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Mail, Robinson described Miller as a journalist and a documentarian. Robinson said the two set up an independent news site, AmericaHappens.com, after repeatedly getting kicked off YouTube for their stories promoting conspiracy theories, including that of the 2017 Las Vegas shooting that they claim was a cover-up with multiple shooters. I appreciate getting kicked off YouTube. Been there, done that, right on this very channel, which was restored because I committed no community standards violations. But we digress. On his Twitter account, Miller describes himself as the founder of the America Happens Network, a producer, a DJ, a lawyer, a vision guy. He hosts the Blood Money podcast. He's a big, huge Trump supporter. It's what we've been doing for years, Robinson told the Daily Mail. He's my friend. We work together. Now, Secret Service sources told the New York Post that they doubt that Miller was going to try to kill Trump, and the FBI is not investigating the incident as an assassination attempt. While my confidence level in both the Federal Bureau of Incompetence and the Secret Service have never been lower, It makes no sense for the sheriff's office to release the guy on $10,000 bail if this is indeed another assassination attempt. Also, who gains from this being falsely reported? The Harris campaign? No way. Trump campaign? Not really. Nothing there. Now, Miller reportedly called the idea of going after Trump complete BS. Now, that may very well be true, but why loaded firearms and fake identification? What's that all about? And why be so stupid as to transport it to a Trump rally? If this guy's a journalist, he does not sound like a very bright one. Robinson added he had no intention to kill Trump. It's ridiculous. To me, it feels like a setup or really inadequate police work. A crappy excuse to get in a car and try to find something wrong with a Trump supporter or something. Seriously? So, Mr. Robinson, you don't think that the feds could make this guy just disappear in a less dramatic fashion on trumped up charges? I mean, get real. Do you even know how the federal government works?
There were many irregularities that popped up. The deputy noticed that the interior of the vehicle was in quite disarray. The vehicle had an obviously fake license plate, and that prompted further investigation from our deputy into why the person was there and what he was doing. During that investigation, the deputy eventually found multiple passports with multiple names, multiple driver's license with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, and the license plate was what we in law enforcement would recognize as one that is homemade and indicative of a group of individuals that claim to be sovereign citizens.
As you've just heard the Riverside Sheriff's Office say, multiple passports with multiple names, multiple driver's licenses with different names. The vehicle was unregistered, homemade license plates, which are often associated with sovereign citizens, plus a loaded handgun and a loaded shotgun. Arrested, booked, and released on $10,000 bail. Now, the Riverside County Sheriff's Office is actively working with the FBI and Secret Service to ensure this person's followed up on. So my question to the Riverside County Sheriff's Office is that this person with fake IDs, driver's license, multiple passports, fake license plates, loaded shotgun, and sidearm in a vehicle with a VIP pass to get into the president, takes the firearms into the site, that this person presents zero threat to the president or to the public? Seriously? Now back to the comments that Ms. Robinson shared earlier with the Daily Mail. She said, it sounds like it's an excuse to get in the car, look at his shitty mess of a car, and that's when they found a gun. But every gun is illegal in California. It's stupid. No, every gun in California is not illegal. Many people in California carry firearms. I'm not sure where she gets her information from. Yes, California is a difficult state to live in. It's challenging, but people have firearms. If you're going to defend the guy, at least come up with something that makes sense. Now, Vem Miller has given his own exclusive interview to Fox News in which he states that he reported the guns to authorities, which he says he always travels with despite never using them. He reported them to authorities at a checkpoint to get into Trump's Coachella rally on Saturday evening and denied that documents Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco said were fake. They're not fake, he says. He says that as far as the firearms, he says he's never fired them. He started keeping them with him when he started getting death threats. He said, I've literally never even shot a gun in my life. I don't know anything about guns. I'm beyond a novice. Well, folks, now, I'm not sure if I'm more or less concerned. A novice? Hey, dude, ever heard of a firearm safety course? What kind of judgment does this guy have to be riding around with loaded guns in his vehicle, firearms he claims he does not even know how to use, and taking them to a rally with the former president? Does he not know that there were 2 assassination attempts against Trump that we're aware of? If this guy's a journalist, I don't know who he works for, but his judgment is beyond poor. Vem Miller also said he's been a 30-year member of the media. Really? Really? Well, now we know why we don't trust the media. Miller said, this is a man that I deeply admire because I was a closet individual in terms of my beliefs. Because I worked in Hollywood, as my politics started to change, I realized that Hollywood is a homogenous community. Miller said he flirted with Sanders without realizing the implications of socialism, but now, and since 2018, he has constitutional beliefs, calling Trump a visual example of freedom of speech. Well, why didn't you have constitutional beliefs prior to 2018? As Americans, we believe in the Constitution. That's what we exist for. That's why I took an oath and defended the Constitution for 36 and a half years in uniform. I didn't come to that belief because my political views change. My views remain the same. Why aren't yours? And speaking of flirting with Sanders, did you flirt with Barry Sanders or Bernie Sanders, Vem? You actually thought for even a second that a man who honeymooned in the Soviet Union during the Cold War was a good fit for your political views? Look, folks, redemption is one thing. Leftists can reform themselves and become conservatives at any point. But his story has a strange air of cow dung about it. When Fox News asked him about all the fake IDs and passports in his car, Miller claimed that not one of them was a fake. No, none of those are fake. Miller says he's an Armenian and has documents that use his full Armenian name and documents that don't, because using those documents in some places around the world could get him killed, referring to campaigns over the centuries to murder Armenians. Well, if he's an Armenian, he's not an American. So get off the fence, Vem. You're either an American or you're an Armenian. So he carries Armenian and American identity documents. Now, I've been required to have foreign driver's licenses while stationed in certain foreign states, but never in a different name, and I never took those driver's licenses abroad with me. Why would I carry them in my car while driving and living in another country? It makes no sense. Having served overseas for much of my 36 and a half years in the U.S. military, I've carried multiple passports simultaneously, a tourist passport, an official passport, and even a diplomatic passport. But I have never carried any passports while living in or traveling around the United States. Why would any American citizen do such a thing? America, unlike most of the world, does not and cannot require you to carry identification, and certainly not a passport while traveling within the United States. Miller's social media posts reported include videos at Republican events and selfies with pro-Trump media personalities popular among the right, including Vivek Ramaswamy, Steve Bannon, Roger Stone, and even got up close to Donald Trump Jr. at one GOP event. Now, perhaps you can find that on his Twitter account, but I don't have hours to spend on it. You're going to have to dig a little deeper. I didn't see any of those posts in recent posts. Mindy Robinson has nearly 400,000 followers on her Twitter account, and she has her own show, Conspiracy Truths with Mindy. So this whole episode leaves a lot of questions out there. What the hell was this guy up to? What kind of judgment does this guy have? And this is just brain dead. Why would you go to a rally carrying multiple driver's license, multiple passports, loaded firearms in your vehicle, and drive around like you were living in your car? What did you think was going to happen? Jeez. Anyway, folks, this is not the Riverside County Sheriff's Office doing shoddy police work. They're doing good police work. This is either an assassination attempt, which it doesn't appear to be by all publicly available information at this hour, or it's incredibly stupid judgment by a rash, emotional clown that doesn't know how to walk and chew gum at the same time. We don't need this. This is not what conservatives are all about. This is not what patriots are all about. We support and defend the Constitution and are seeking to restore this nation to its rightful place in the world, not the depths that it's fallen to under this cabal of leftist lunatics in corporate America, in the federal government, at state governments, and in our courts around the country. At the ballot box, constitutionally, no other way. Carrying firearms in a car, loaded. In many states, you can have a firearm in a car, but it has to be unloaded and has to be in a lockbox in the back. What's this guy thinking? His judgment is beyond poor. And for that, he deserves far more scrutiny. But at this hour, authorities apparently do not consider him a threat to the president or to the public. I think he's a threat to himself because he's pretty stupid. What are your thoughts, folks? If you're rude and disrespectful, you can just keep walking. We're here for coaching conversation, lucid answers, not for name calling. Cheers, and God bless.